Hey guys, it's Marco again. In today's video, we'll go over the best items to have before entering Gnomeregan Raid, also known as the Pre-BiS List. BiS items for this video are the like and subscribe buttons, so please make sure to hit those as a good luck charm for the upcoming Phase 2. Unlike the Phase 1, where Horde had a clear advantage when it comes to item drops, Alliance players will have an advantage at the start of this phase, however the gap isn't as big as it was in Phase 1. This Preraid BiS list will also be more focused on items that you can get relatively easy, so quest items or dungeon items. I will also notify some of the best BoE items, but don't feel obliged to buy them. Their prices will be super high in the beginning. First, I just want to mention that the full Twilight Slayer set will still be viable. If you get all the Preraid BiS items, your character will be stronger by equivalent of 19 attack power, but you will lose 1% hit chance, and I'm honestly not sure what will I choose, but I'm leaning more towards 1% hit chance, so with that in mind, I will present the Preraid BiS items with their raw stats not counting in the set. With that said, let's start with Helms. Preraid BiS will be, believe it or not, Artemis Cowl. It offers the biggest amount of stats, and I have to cry a bit since my rogue has never seen this item drop in a raid. But oh well, RNG be like that. Second best Helm is going to be Twilight Slayer's Cowl, with a bit less overall stats, and third Helm is going to be an item from Tailoring, White Bandit Mask. The mask gives whopping 11 agility and 11 strength, which is turbo good for rogues, which never did BFD. The item is cheap to craft, and the only issue is that you need a pattern drop to learn the recipe. When it comes to amulets, your easiest choice is going to be the Warsong Gulch Honor Reputation amulet. There is no reason that you didn't get honored with your rogue from Ashenvale by now. When it comes to raw DPS, there is one better and still easy amulet to get, and that's Zealous Shadow Shard Pendant, a quest reward from Moradon. It offers 20 attack power, and you don't need to delve deep into the dungeon for it. It has a bit more DPS output than the other amulet, but the medallion still offers 7 stamina for about 1 attack power difference. Another thing is that I'm not sure if we'll be able to do the Moradon quest. You never know if they're gonna make it a 10-man raid for the next phase or some other dungeon. For shoulders, there is literally one best choice, and that's Failed Flying Experiment. It's going to be a difficult quest and you'll need a party to do it. It comes from Rescue the Feralus Mechanical Chicken quest, and it just offers insane DPS stats. Second best shoulders are going to be Flintrock Shoulders. They are BoE, but a lot of people will be farming Scarlet Monastery for experience, so there will be a lot of these on the auction house with hopefully not too big of a price tag. If they are too expensive, you can just buy Nightscape Shoulders, which offer 11 agility, and they should be super cheap. Last shoulders I want to mention are Revolosha's Polders of Agility. The boss has 2% chance to drop them, but you may get lucky. Cloaks are a bit of a sad story, since there isn't a single good one which is easy to get. You can get Dark Tide Cape from Keep an Eye Out, but Sergeant Cloak is on the similar level as that one. We can get the Sergeant Major's Cape, but that's PvP rank 5, and it will take some time to get it. Our best option will probably be super expensive, and that's Dark Hooded Cape. It's a 10% drop from a rare mob in Arathi Highlands. It gives 10 agility and 4 strength, which are just brutal stats. Second best option is another BoE cloak, Griffin's Cloak of Agility, which offers 10 agility, and I also assume that this one is going to be a bit more expensive. Cloaks were a sad story, but chess pieces should be interesting. We can get our hands on plus 23 agility and plus 3 strength Blazewind Breastplate from a very hard level 50 quest. However, I assume that there will be a lot of groups and parties doing this quest because play chest reward is awesome as well. If you don't want to do the quest, you can always buy a cheap Nightscape tunic with 15 agility, or a more expensive but a lot better option with Wide Leather Vest of Power, which offers 38 attack power, only slightly worse than the Blazewind Breastplate. If you're a sweaty gamer and you did a bunch of Warsong Gulches, the best bracers by far will be the Forest Stalker's bracers. But not everybody has that much willpower or time on their hands, so your second best option is going to be branded leather bracers from High Inquisitor Fairbanks, followed by a BoE Imperial leather bracers. Of course, you can always go big and just buy Cabalist Bracers of Power with plus 20 attack power, which will cost you a bank, or even more expensive ones, unearthed bands with possibility of getting to 28 attack power. Gloves wise, we have it super easy. You can use your epic crafted leatherworking gloves from BFD. They will still be the best, especially if your active is ready to be used. But if you don't have leatherworking, you want to do the quest The Mark of Quality. Alliance and Horde players have the same version of the quest, farm some Yetis and hope for the Feralas chicken to drop, and you'll be rewarded with 10 strength and 9 agility gloves. Honorable mention goes to Gloves of Holy Might with 1% critical strike chance and 20 attack power, but they will be super expensive. Another mention goes to Shadowskin Gloves from Leatherworking with 1% critical strike chance, but I prefer a bit less crit and 19 attack power from Feralas quest. Belts are similar to cloaks, we don't have a lot of good options. Easiest one is going to be Dusky Belt with 8 agility. Horde players should still use their Deathkin Belt. Luckily though, Arathi Basin Reputation will offer the best belt with plus 30 attack power, and you will only require Honored Reputation, which should be doable in the first few weeks. Honorable mention is the Ogron Sash, a BOE drop, which will cost a lot of goldies. When it comes to legs, Alliance players will have an option to do a very hard quest, which requires you to kill a level 51 elite to get Griffin Rider's leggings, with plus 15 strength and plus 15 agility. Second best legs are going to drop from Razorfen Kraul, Ferine leggings with 9 strength and 8 agility, which will be the pre-BiS leggings for the Horde. However, I must say that you shouldn't care too much about the leggings, since we'll get super good ones as a quest reward from killing the last boss in Gnomeregan. I would say that the best pre-BiS boots are going to be a quest reward from Excelsior, with 9 agility and 7 strength. Revered Arathi Basin boots will be harder to get, since you will need Revered, and they will offer a bit less raw stats. However, their slight increased move speed will go a long way. Overall, the best boots should be Imposing Boots of Power with plus 28 attack power, but they will be too expensive. Now we have one super easy topic, and those are the rings. It's so easy to choose the 2 best rings, and they're super easy to get. First one is Mason's Fraternity ring. It's going to be fun to do Zul'Farrak, since the mob that you need to kill is level 45, but it's definitely going to be doable. Second ring is the ring from Honored Warsong Gulch Reputation. For trinkets, you want to get your hands on Avenger's Void Pearl from the last boss in BFD, and by now everybody is running with that trinket, and Horde players won't have the second best option, while Alliance players can do a long quest line starting in Westfall for the Thunder Bros Boot Flask, which offers some nice DPS boost. Surprisingly enough, our best melee weapons are super easy to get. Hands down, our best offhand for the Gnomeregan will be the Vanquisher's Sword from Razorfen Down's quest. But if you're fighting the humanoid boss in Gnomeregan, you can always go for Black Menace from In the Name of the Light quest from Scarlet Monastery for Alliance, or Cold Rage Dagger for Horde. When it comes to main hand, the best pre-raid weapon is going to be Scout's or Sentinel's Blade. If you aren't revered with Warsong Gulch, you should get the Black Menace from Scarlet Monastery as Alliance, or Fiendish Skiv as Horde players from Dustwallow Marsh quest. And if you really want to play the Sinister Strike build, your best option will be the Warsong Gulch Revered reward with Protector's or Legionnaire's Sword. Lastly, for ranged weapons, we'll be running the Baal Modan's Blunderbuss from BFD Raid, or Warsong Gulch Bow if you have the reputation and don't have the Blunderbuss. There are also some sweet BOE items, the Silencer being the best, followed with Swiftwind and Monolithic Bow. That's it for the list. If you have any questions or remarks, please share them in the comments, and if you wish to support the channel further or get some perks, make sure to check out my Patreon page linked in the description. Thank you and bye bye.